I have a lot of problems, actually, but my mess of a personal life aside, this one is about McDonald's new ad campaign. Releasing a new McFlurry, they've themed it this time around Grandma. While predatory marketing and rationalizations under the guise of being part of your family is the standard for the modern American corporation, I felt compelled to talk about this in particular because of the way they seem to be role-playing as your grandmother, and how that just does not sit right with me. We're going to go on a bit of a journey as we explore exactly how McDonald's thinks that they are your grandmother, or at least think they know her intimately enough to play that role. We'll start with the Twitter ads because this is where I first encountered this strangeness, with a screenshot saying how it feels trying a Grandma McFlurry for the first time. Now, you'd think that McDonald's, one of the richest entities of all time, would be able to hire a social media manager that could make even a slightly more compelling meme for a post that would be scrolled past by 19 million people, or at least add a little more in the body than something that could have just been added to the image. Maybe how I looked trying the Grandma McFlurry. A different image or short video, and detail the experience of the tweet a bit, at least is the bare minimum. But I'm digressing. Going to the McDonald's profile, we're greeted with the horrifically cringe, I've never grandma cord like this before, which apparently is a real term, because of course there needs to be a core to everything now. If only we were able to blow it up and rid ourselves of this mess, we'd all be better off for it. In-game, of course, in-game. In any case, shoutouts to the Pea Puncher for the definition, which, if we trust is correct, grain of salt, of course. It is a 1960s type vintage aesthetic. Something that is distinctly missing in all of the promotional material I've seen, aside from aesthetics not being the attempt at near identity theft that McDonald's is performing. These kinds of edits and photos are almost the last thing you would find from this generation, something they themselves seem to understand at least a little bit, if you notice the artwork on their profile picture. Now, that's already 3 strikes for the social media manager, but that's not what this video is about. I apologize to whoever just caught those strays, is what I would say if it were not for this promotional image on one of their Instagram accounts, which, while I understand it intends to play into the stereotype that grandma would always get you dessert, is not winning me over with it's what grandma would want. She would more likely wonder what her name is doing in their mouths, but where that becomes a certainty is that cursed art at the bottom, XOXO grandma. And we'll get into even more detail about why that is problematic later, but it is better to first get the full effect laid on from McDonald's official statement about it. McDonald's introduces new Grandma McFlurry as a sweet ode to grandmas everywhere. McDonald's is the place where lifelong memories are made with grandma. From treating us to an impromptu soft serve to letting us have dessert first, grandmas always know how to make us feel special. And now it's her turn. We're inviting fans to celebrate grandma and recreate some of those cherished moments this summer by treating themselves to the Grandma McFlurry. Available starting May 21st for a limited time. The new McFlurry is sweet, just like grandma, and features a delicious syrup and chopped, crunchy candy pieces, like grandma's favorite treat that she hid in her purse, all blended in our creamy vanilla soft serve. It's the perfect sweet treat to share with grandma or the grandma figure in your life. Now, before looking at the statement made by the person likely responsible for this mess, the first sentences demonstrate a reason this may already be a bad idea. While this is one of the more popular stereotypes which may evoke happy memories, a big reason corporations should leave your personal life alone is because your circumstances are individual, while any statement they make is going to be diluted for millions and have no attachment to you. It's no guarantee that even seeing their new bag art, something we will get to, is going to evoke some kind of happy feeling whatsoever. Indeed, in the US, there has been such a monumental cultural shift across these 2 to 3 generational gaps that, for too many reasons to detail here, these memories may not be the fondest ones. And this is even before we get into problematic personalities or past behaviors they may exhibit. Just when discussing this video idea with someone, they were telling me specifically about how a McFlurry is not symbolic of their relationship to any of their numerous grandmothers. And in fact, the last sentence, "Grandmas always know how to make us feel special," was something he specifically said never applied to him. Much like our holiday calendar, and particularly Christmas, what is supposed to be a celebration can quickly turn to the worst part of some people's years and stay that way anytime they are reminded of it. So, right out of the gate, to put this branding on every packaging is a bold move. But even assuming these first positive sentences are true for somebody, the direction of this is all off. Because it is not her turn. It is not a homage to grandma, even though many likely did not want that attention on them directly in the first place. It is McDonald's foolishly thinking they can play the role of her as they sign her name directly onto every single bag and drink cup in their possession. Now, remember, the spotlight is on her, which is why you really need to save room for the McFlurry TM, because McGrandma says you should always get a Grandma McFlurry TM for dessert. Ridiculous right here. And now a word from the corporate overlord who has probably awoken painful memories in many people with the inescapable branding of this campaign. Grandmas have always held a special place in our hearts, and today they're having a major moment influencing culture, except for when it comes to our promotional graphics and photos. Inspiring trends in fashion, which I guess I missed. Someone educate me on this in the comments. Decor, except for anywhere in the dystopic kiosk center, which has replaced our service counter and removed countless jobs. And now, even food with our newest McFlurry, where they are useful as a self-insert for us to try and emotionally manipulate you through positive association to get your cash, said Tariq-san. And of course, me reading between the lines of the Chief Marketing and Customer Experience Officer at McDonald's. The Grandma McFlurry tastes almost identical to a caramel drizzled McFlurry, but we hope you'll think of us as your grandmother. XOXO. And taste it as a trip down memory lane, which may not at all be a pleasant one. We're excited to give our fans that experience while role-playing, honoring the grandma figure in all our lives. And, of course, notice the header implying that a McFlurry with some caramel syrup and crunches with nothing else attached is somehow even in the same realm of existence as connecting with your grandmother, if that is even necessarily a good thing for you, if she is even around to connect directly with too, which may not be an option for multiple reasons. So below there are just some song re-releases, which may be cool, and something else honestly I do appreciate is the donation here, which McDonald's says they'll be doing, as this is an important and good cause they may be contributing to. I haven't looked into this organization they're doing myself to know where it's going, but at least in concept it is a good idea. So in conclusion, McDonald's new campaign is really weird to me. I don't even know who it is for. The conversation I mentioned earlier about no grandmother making him feel special was with a man many, many years older than me. This is a non-starter for people of all age brackets who have that negative association. For people who qualify in the grandparent role, many of them are sharper about and usually more cynical of these kinds of tricks and would likely recognize the shameless self-insertion and roleplay McDonald's is doing. I don't mind, certainly would have, and that brings me to the idea that it may not be such a sweet deal even for us with a positive association if we have lost them. I'm sure the brazen self-insertion is the reason I'm even talking about this ad right now instead of just ignoring it as I usually do when it comes to corporate noise. All this nonsense is for a McFlurry whose only real difference from the norm will likely boil down to a bit of hard caramel bits in exchange for likely way more negative emotions as people see the text on their bags and drink cups. Negative emotions and rage bait are what drive engagement though, and the corporate machine loves nothing more than engagement irrespective of the human cost, mental or physical. And I'll admit that they got me to talk about it, which at the end of the day, and this campaign is exactly what they wanted. So, well played, McDonald's.